And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals, the other semifinals of Fire Cup number 6. Ooh, here we go. We're nearing the end of the broadcast. As we have one player confirmed in the grand finals. That is Shameless, of course, the European Protoss. But who will face off against him in those finals? As we have a rematch of last month's finals. Let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He's shameless, Pappy Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, a man of many names. Some know him as Radita, some know him as Vanya. It is Wayne, as he is the Fire Cup reigning champion. He's the reigning champion, Wayne. He was last month's winner. Despite that, though, he's had a back and forth record against Shameless. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets to get your gamba going. Place your bets while you can. This is going to be an interesting one here. So for those that are curious, for those that are unaware, story time. Wayne and Shameless, they met. They faced off in the finals of last month's tournament in a best of 7, and it did go the way of Wayne. It was a close series. I mean, I say that the map score was heavily in favor of Wayne in that best of 7, but the games themselves were very close. They were very close games. If you remember, Wayne, he all in like 4 games in that series. It was great. He had a lot of different cheese, a lot of different aggression, a lot of hyper aggressive builds, and he was barely able to break Shameless. Like Shameless, he barely didn't defend game after game after game, but they had a rematch in the group stage. In the group stage, they did face off. This was yesterday, and Shameless did defeat Wayne 2-0. It was a 2-0 in favor of Shameless. So Shameless, he had a much stronger showing yesterday. And coming into this, I expect a back and forth. I don't expect a 3-0. I expect like a back and forth between these two players, but it's going to be a close 1-2 call. I do not envy those in the chat. Best of luck. Best of luck with those predictions. Aye. But now we're settling in. We are going to be settling in. As we have our initial openers. Hatch gas pull out of Wayne. Pulling out of gas, just going for his third base and joining up. Meanwhile, the juice has been thrown down. Let's go. That is Shameless's kind of calling card. The juice. Get juiced up. Stay hydrated. As Wayne is getting his third. Shameless back at home, just going for a gate, expand into Cybercore, into his tech of choice. It is going to be a Stargate. Let's go. Stargate follow-up with Stargate opener here by Shameless. Into Oracle, into a third base. Shameless, he isn't really too much of an aggressive player. He's pretty standard in his play. We should be seeing just a Stargate into Oracle, into a third, into Forge, Twilight Council, +1, and Blink. That's kind of the play that we expect to see out of Shameless. Really, our eyes have to be on Wayne. Again, like in that best of 7, Wayne, he was hyper aggressive. We just saw Link Flood after Link Flood, or just Roach Queen all in, German Taxi, Nidus play as well. Like Wayne was just hyper aggressive last time in that best of 7. As he is banking up Links. Links are building up to catch out these depths. They threaten the Shade. And Shameless, he does not commit. Backs up. Does back up from here. Wayne diving on the Adepts. Attempts to surround. Doesn't quite get it. Shameless does get away. Does slip away. Shameless getting his third base, so far getting surrounded. Nice catch. Ooh, one Adept does shade. Oracle is in position, and the third base should be safe and sound. Yeah, Pulsar Beam is activated, and Wayne is deflected. He's going to be deflected. Likewise, Wayne behind this, going to his Evo Chamber. This should be for +1 melee. +1 melee on the way. Droning up his third base, is saturating. Did invest in those links early on, but now he's just focusing on droning up and defending. Now it's time for Shameless to get some damage done. He moves out. He should have seen those links. Links that make their way across the map. Shameless going for the drones. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 drones going down. Back across the map. Warp in is a slow warp in, but the Depths are here just in time. They defend. Shameless, he defends, he attacks. Lings that don't get much done. As we mentioned, again, +1 melee is on the way. This typically leads into Ling Hydra. Into a more Hydra-based composition, into Lair Tech, of course. We'll see if we can get there. Shameless poking in, pulling out. Behind this +1 into Blink, as we mentioned, standard follow-up here out of Shameless. And he does move out with his initial 5 Adepts. So it's going to be 5 Adepts alongside 3 Oracles. Oh, actually, 2 only. Interesting. Only 2 Oracles here for Shameless. With the 5 Adepts. He will threaten a dive, and we'll see if Wayne can keep up. Yeah, he's only going to be poking in. He can commit to a Shade if he sees an opening. But the Lings are keeping up, and Shameless backs off. Again, he's just poking and prodding. If he sees an opportunity, he will dive. Meanwhile, that's a Baneling Nest. Ooh, no lair. No lair, by the way. Instead of the lair, he's going for a Baneling Nest. He's going for a Bane Bust. He's going for an all-in. And again, this is what we expect out of Wayne, is non-stop all-ins in this series. There's the recall back home. Again, we are going to be lacking saturation, lacking gas. No gases here at the natural, no gases at the third base, only 1 gas in the main. Pure Ling Bane. Shameless is walling up. He's walling up, he's walling off. I'd love to see shield batteries here at the natural as well, as I'm not so certain Shameless is aware of what's happening. As Wayne, he will soon pull the trigger. He does smell weakness here at the natural. There we go, there's a shield battery. There we go, we have a cannon, we have 2 shield batteries so far. Decent Sim City. Ideally, sentries. Why sentry? Force fields. There's no Ravagers. There is no answer to force fields. Force fields would be amazing right now to slice up the army, but so far I see 0 sentries. Is concerning. As here we go, we do pull the trigger. Ling Bane rolling in. Again, there's 0 force fields. Banes, they make their way into the mineral line. And they will connect. They shut down the pylon. The person's no, they're stuck. Oh my god. Okay, they get away. Whew, they do slip away. Stalkers are pinned against the wall. And it looks like Wayne, he has done it. He's breaking through. Oracles, they race back home. The Oracle's out of position as well. No stasis traps. Delayed pulsar beams. Meanwhile, the natural is held. Yo, Shameless, he holds. It was a shaky defense, but a defense nonetheless. He's re-walling. How much did he lose? 7 Stalkers. Ooh, 7 Stalkers went down. There are 8 Stalkers left, so the Stalker count was cut in half. And Wayne is not done. He's not done. He's making more Lings. The all-in is continuing. Shameless, ideally, we need another Oracle. Again, these Oracles are so amazing here against Ling Bane. They can punish them very hard. And Wayne, he backs off. Wayne, he backs off. Whew, Shameless holds. Shameless, he holds. Wayne, he backs off. He's now droning. Now, what's important here? A couple of things. This lair, late. It's a late lair, late droning, late saturation. Wayne is behind. He is behind, but he is looking to recover. He's looking to stabilize. Right now, the pressure is on Shameless not to overcommit to the defense and to keep taking and to keep pushing forward. There it is. 4th base is on the way. Storm is in production, which is very important. Storm, +2, charge. Shameless, he is not missing a beat. Is teching, but we'll see if he can keep up with these Lings, because that's a lot of Lings. We move out. Army's in position. Storm is already High Templar. They're exposed. Oh, gets us around. How many does he get? He gets 1. He gets 3, 4. Ooh, 4 High Templar going down. Brutal pickoffs. Ay, ay, ay. Shameless being a little bit too greedy there. He chose not to morph them into Archons. He was trying to wait for Storm, and he gets punished. It was 4, right? Yeah, 5 High Templar. Very expensive losses. And with that, Wayne, he's catching back up. Catching 5 High Templar is a big way for Wayne to recover. As Wayne is still rallying in. This is a little bit wasteful, is what I will say. So Wayne is being a little bit wasteful here. Throws away a lot of Lings for like a gateway unit here or there. So that was less efficient out of Wayne. As Wayne, he droned up to 69. Nice. That is just over 3-way saturation. He's now building up his Lings, his Roaches, +1 range on the way. And Wayne, he's still not fully droning up. He's still committed. Nice Storm. Surrounds on the depth. Pokes in on the left. Now the main army's in position. Wayne looking for another way in, collapsing on the cannons. Diving in the army. He wants his High Templar. Does want them. Lassie gets punished. Things get shut down. Shameless out of position. Storm protecting the cannon. The High Templar is going to survive. Whew. Nice defense here by Shameless. He saves the High Templar this time. I would still love to see just some safety Archons regardless. They can do well for themselves. Oh no, they're exposed! Oh no! Oh my god. They barely survive once again. Lings, they bust in. Nice storm here on the roaches. We're running out of storms there. We go. So Archons are morphing in. 10 probes going down. Shameless, he is barely holding. Clutch Pulsar Beam. He defends his fourth. Wayne is not stopping. Still just massing up pure Ling Roach. Still refusing to tech. There's no Hydras behind this. There's no Lurkers. There's no Hive. No nothing. Just purely Ling Roach Ravager. Nice storm. Nice storm goes up. Ling's coming from behind. They do trigger the shields here on the Immortal. Last once again is Shameless. These fights here, they're getting better and better for Shameless. They're becoming more efficient. Ooh, piles they connect. They shut down a High Templar. That's I spoke too soon. As that one Ling has gotten, what, 6 probe kills? While Ling was popping off, Shameless throwing down more static defense, more cannons, more shield batteries. Again, Shameless was having a bit of a harder time spending his money. Wayne, he rotates. He abandons attacking the fourth, rotating over towards the natural. The Observer does spot the rotation. Shameless, he keeps up. At the same time, Prism across the map does not quite get in. Ooh, massive storms though. Oh my god. Brutal storms. GG gets called as Wayne, he runs out of steam, and Shameless, he survives. He takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Shameless, he does take a lead in the series. He survives the aggression. It was a little bit shaky, not gonna lie. It was not the cleanest defense out of Shameless, but a defense nonetheless. And that's what matters here. Was a defense nonetheless, did survive, did weather the storm in more ways than one, and takes the game. Whew, here we go. And again, when it comes to these matches, this is what we expect, or this is what I expect at least. It's similar to what we saw last time they played, at least in a longer series, is Wayne. He doesn't have to go for the same all-in. This time it was a Bane Bust. Remember, this time he did cut workers at like 3 base saturation, went for a Bane Bust. Off of 1 gas geyser. We could see German taxis, we could see Roach Ravager based all-ins, we could see Link Queen Nidus, we could see other forms of Bane Bust, we could even see 3 base all-in, but you take gases, you get into Lair, and you go Link Hydra. Like, there are different forms of aggression here. And Wayne, he can be quite flexible with them. If we end up in a longer macro game, I do favor Shameless. I do favor Shameless if we end up there. Which I would imagine is also why Wayne is being aggressive like this. And we'll see. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned. Again, all our players did need a moment to themselves, but now we are back. We are good to go. We are still in the early games, in the early maps of this series. We have a 1-0 lead for Shameless, and now we are jumping into game numero 2. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Red Zerg player. The Red Zerg down in the series, by the way. He is the reigning champion, and he is struggling so far. We'll see if he can bounce back and tie things up. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He is last month's runner-up. He was the runner-up of last month, and we are here. We're juiced up. We're ready to go. As the juice box has been placed, and we are settling into Ultra Love. Now, we spoke about this map previously, but once again, to reiterate, Ultra Love is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground, but has a lot of defensive features. There's a ramp coming into the natural, there's a choke point coming to the third, likewise another choke point coming to third base as well. Plenty of points of elevation here to take advantage of, to be able to hold on to the high ground. Likewise, a destructible tower that can be knocked down to fully wall this area off with rocks as well. There's plenty of these defensive features to help make up for how small the map is. Now, despite that, we still have seen a lot of successful all-ins on Ultra Love, where they're able to bypass some of these features, where they're able to like rotate and just hit straight into the natural and just catch the Protoss player out of position. It is likely, and based on the history between Wayne and Shameless, based on the history of Shameless excelling in the late game and Wayne struggling in the late game, we expect all-ins. We saw that in game 1. We saw the attempted all-in from Wayne in a game 1 against Shameless, but last was unsuccessful. Shameless, he barely held up. It was a clutch defense. It was not clean whatsoever. It was it was still very close, very clutch, but Shameless, he did survive the aggression of Wayne. Can you do it again? Assuming that we see an all-in. I'm assuming that we will, but again, it comes down to Wayne. It comes down to our Zerg. Here we go. As Shameless does confirm the standard opener, it is going to be Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of Wayne. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have our typical just gate, expand into Cybercore, into Stargate, into our tech of choice. Pylon is placed a little bit further back, so we'll see if Shameless throws down a different tech structure. It is possible here. Opening up a depth. And there it is, a Stargate open. Okay, it is going to be the Stargate. Calming things down. Last game, we did see a double Oracle opener into quintuple Adept Harass. We saw 5 Adepts, we saw 2 Oracles. We'll see if Shameless commits into a 3rd Oracle, goes into just a secure 3-way setup, into Blossom and Blink, or if he deviates. If we see a Void Ray opener instead, which is possible. It is possible. Shameless dips in, dips out, pokes the 3rd base. Does poke the 3rd. Shades into the mineral line, doesn't quite commit. Just keeping tabs on his opponent. We have confirmations. Oracle. There's going to be an Oracle opener out to Shameless. 2 Adepts taking one-shot drones. Taking one-shot links as well. Now being forced back. Threatening the 3rd base. Just keeping tabs on Wayne. Keeping him busy. Keeping him occupied. No. The lack of sleep is kicking in. We'll be fine, we'll be fine. I got my coffee, hold on. Okay, we're good to go. We're awake. Meanwhile, do we take down the morphing an egg, by the way? Apparently not. Does survive. Adepts, they get forced to shade away. 3rd base on the way for Shameless. The Oracle is here. Meanwhile, Wayne coming in for the surround gets 1. 1 Adept falls, the other should escape. But nice catch nonetheless here from Wayne. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? I see a Twilight Council. I do not see a Forge. Uh-oh. I mean, Wayne is rushing into a lair, by the way. This is what, a 4:15, 4:10 lair timing? Jesus, a very fast lair here out of Wayne. This could be for Link Reunitus all in. We could commit into earlier gases, into earlier hydras. Lings, they are deflected. But I don't see a Forge. We're rushing into early Blink. Early Blink is on the way. Lings are amassing. There's no Overlord speed. Eva Chamber into +1. This lair, though. 2nd gas on the way. This has to be for hydras, right? I would imagine. Oracles are forced back. Yeah, extra gas is being taken. I mean, there's a slim chance it's going to be something crazy like rush into Spire and rush into Mutas, but that typically isn't really seen here with a Ling-based opener. Yep, there it is. Rushing into Hydras. So fast layer into fast Hydra then. Going to be Ling Hydra out of Wayne. Now, there are all-ins with this, where you go into Hydra range or Hydra speed, and you hit off of 3-base saturation. I'm referring to 66 drones with a 4th base just for Larva. I'm assuming that's what Wayne is going for. We'll see. As Wayne is building up, still droning. Shameless moving out early on. Remember, Blink is about to finish. Shameless did prioritize earlier Blink than normal to poke in. Threatens the 3rd base. Oh, takes down a Queen. 1 Queen goes down. Blink is done in 10 seconds. Oh. Blink slaps in the army. Very nice force field. Force field. Very nice stasis trap, what I meant to say. Stasis goes off. Catching out the army. Lings, they collapse in. Once again, go Blinks, those Stalkers, they're not going down. Another stasis goes off. And there's still 1 more left behind this. There's still another stasis. And Shameless, he's breaking through. He's gaining ground. We'll lose 1 Stalker. Stasis runs out. Ooh, does force a panic Blink here out of Shameless. Again, Wayne buying time for more Hydras. Wayne is barely holding on. Barely does hold. Another stasis goes off. There's one more. So another behind this army. Shameless getting fully saturated. Ooh, but the fourth base is going to be delayed. But now 39 extra gateways, +1 in charge on the way. Shameless, he's supply blocked. Uh-oh. And brutal supply block, nice stasis trap, so even catching Hydras. Hydra's getting caught out. Shameless forced back home. Ling's going for another pylon. And likewise against Shameless, he does need an expansion. Does need a fourth. Wayne behind this, he has not been droning. He's been cutting workers here at 66, which is what we assumed he would do. Just pure Ling Hydra. And Wayne, he's not droning and he's not taking. He's not taking up into Hive, he's not taking up into Lurkers. Just focusing on army production. It is a 3-base all-in. And what Shameless needs is splash damage. Whether it's Colossus or Storm, he needs something. Ooh, he's getting caught out. Yeah, he's getting caught out here. Mass Stalker does not trade well against Hydra. Not like this. Lings, they flood in. He busts into the natural, busting into the main. Knocks down the wall. Shameless buying time. Oh, this is already getting out of hand, though. Yeah, boy's being pulled away. 15 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Insane damage. And Wayne is just pulling Shameless apart. Shameless cannot keep up. And that's 20 worker kills. Nice stasis. Stasis goes up. Wayne's still forcing his way in. And he's overwhelmed. He's just overwhelmed with the army. Shameless, he needed to do more damage early on. He had to break the third base and he didn't. He failed to do so. And with that, Wayne is going to tie up the series. Despite struggling in game one, he's here to tie things up. GG gets called and Wayne takes game number 2, tying us up 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very strong timing there from Wayne, especially considering that Shameless had rushed into Blink. Blink Stalkers, they trade well against Roaches, they trade well against Lings, they do not scale well against Mass Ling Hydra, as you are lacking that splash damage, you're lacking any kind of other support. We needed either faster Storm, we needed, of course, either a bigger, faster investment into Charge ults as well, or more realistically here, we needed Shameless to get more damage done early on. He had to break that third. He was gaining ground. Remember, if you remember, he was killing Lings, killing Queens, he was pushing forward towards the base, but he never quite got on top of it. And with that, Wayne survived, defended, and snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do have a tied series, and now we're getting into our next game. We're getting into game 3. Lobby has been made, and we are loading into Abyssal Reef. Here we go. Abyssal Reef, a much larger map, and I would say that on a larger map like this, we can see Shameless have a much stronger start here. He can be a lot more comfortable, being more defensive, getting to his 3, 4, 5 base economy. There are opportunities for other forms of aggression from the side of Wayne. We could see Nidus base all-ins, we could see Spire play into Mutas. That is very much so viable here in Abyssal Reef, so there are other tech options available if Wayne did want to be aggressive. We'll see though. We will see. As the map this time is going to be working against Wayne if he does want to all in. Gonna have to get creative. And here we go. We are loading into Abyssal Reef. Spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player leading the series 2-1. Onomas, one more game is all he needs to advance onto the grand finals. It is Wayne. Wait, sorry, my apologies. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're tied up. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. In my mind, we were already getting into game 4. Jesus, the lack of sleep, it's killing me. It's ruining me. Ah, no. We're tied up. We're tied up 1-1. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. We'll see who gains momentum. Oh, hello, Wayne. As we are going to be opening up hatch first into a proxy hatch across the map. Okay. So this is not going to be an all-in, but this is a way to disrupt the build of Shameless, to try to get an economic edge over the Protoss player by delaying the expansion and by delaying the mining here at the natural base, and potentially even forcing the boys to be pulled, as the hatchery has arrived. So again, hatch before pool, before gas. There are no lings to reinforce, there's no aggression coming his way, it's just only to delay. And so far doing well, the boys are being pulled. It's going to be 5 boys off the mineral line. Zelda's being current as we speak. As Shameless will try to shut this down and eventually expand. From here, Wayne can cancel and go for an Evo block as well to delay even further. Can be risky. Has to make sure this base doesn't get killed. Has to make sure to cancel. Ooh, there's a cancel in time. Drone gets away. From here, Wayne can pivot into the main and try to steal a gas geyser. But now they're just being as annoying as possible here at the natural base. It is on patrol. There's that spawning pool follow-up. Delayed gas. Oh. As Shameless can finally expand and get his own natural. Let's go. He's taking his natural. He attempts the gas steal. But lastly, won't be able to. The probe is in position. And the adept will clean this up. Adept will clean up. From here, we can calm things down. Now, my biggest concern for Wayne here is that link speed is going to be heavily delayed. Link speed has now begun, but is going to be far later than usual. We'll see if Wayne can keep up with the adept aggression. I mean, everything is a little bit off balance here, just because adepts are a little bit later, the Stargate is a little bit later, link speed is later as well. We'll see what Shameless can get done. Everything's just a little bit off because of the initial builds. Shameless does threaten a dive. Gets a ling. Shades into the mineral line. Gets 1, gets 2 drones so far. Not bad. Gets 2 workers. Picks up a ling. Getting another drone. Tries to shade out. Is going to be shut down, but 3 drones and 2 lings for 2 adepts. Not a bad trade here for Shameless. Not bad. Lost mine time as well. Behind this, going for a Void Ray opener, not an Oracle. Interesting. With this, he can hunt down the Overlords, he can deny vision, deny scouting. Do we expect Shameless to rush into any kind of tech here? It sounds risky. If this was any other opponent, I'd be like, oh, we could go for like a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon and rush into a Mothership and Tempest. But against Wayne, who has been going all in every game so far in this series, I feel like it's not a wise choice. Okay, Evo Chamber's on the way for +1 melee. So far, standard follow-up. We saw last game this led into Ling Hydra into a 3-base all-in. We could see a similar setup here from Wayne. I would encourage Wayne to drone and to take gases and get a 4th, and to take into Hive Tech, but we'll see. Meanwhile, the 3rd base is finishing up. It's going to be Twilight Council into Forge. It's going to be +1 and Blink, most likely. Out of Shameless. So, standard follow-up. Oracle dives in. Quite find anything though. Ooh, Robo behind this is going to be charge instead. Okay, you have my attention. We're +1 in charge. This means that Shameless is going to be the aggressor this time. Or, I mean, they both might be, but Shameless is going to be more assertive here. Going to charge, going into Archons. Going for an earlier timing. Okay. Interesting. Overlord gets into the main. Does force out a couple of spores. Gets a kill on 1. Nice pickup. Getting 2 Overlords and a Spore Crawler. They rotate over. getting Revelation. Temple Archives on the way. Typically, the Archons should be lined up with +1 in charge. Should all be hitting at the same time, alongside the War Prism. Assuming that a Prism is made after the initial Observer. As there's a massive gateway explosion. 5 extra gates on the way. Clearing up more creep. Wayne, he has drawn up a little bit further. He's taking gases. Now even joining up his 4th base as well. And that is not a War Prism. That is an Immortal. Okay, never mind. What a Shameless scene. He sees saturation, he sees gases, and he sees drones. He does confirm drones. As one Oracle will not go down, barely gets away. But upon seeing all this, Shameless, he knows that he's going to be up against quite an army. It means that Wayne is building up towards a longer game state. I am not opposed to teching and getting a 4th. Yep, 4th base is on the way. Extra gases, +1 into +2. Storm as well, no War Prism. Shameless, he's defending. Ooh, that's a big cancel. That should not have happened. He needs that 4th base desperately. Because here comes Wayne. Wayne is moving out. Shameless needs to expand. As he's being contained, and Wayne is going to be the first to max out. Nice stasis. Stasis goes up. Shameless trying to keep up. Storm is not ready. And just now finishing up in time. Lings, they flood in. Oh, again, Shameless, it was just a couple of seconds too late. Just trying to keep up. Stasis is about to run out. And the most important thing that's happening here is that Shameless is still stuck on 3 bases. He's still stuck on a low economy. And he hasn't, with all these storms, he has an army to defend. Like, he can totally expand. He just needs to be in position, is the thing. And he's not quite. Here come the lurkers. Shameless getting caught out. Zealous gets surrounded. High Templar going down as well. Brutal pickoffs. Lings, they're coming from behind, and Shameless is just getting torn apart here. No expansion, no army. Force the storm. High Templar go down. And Shameless, he loses everything. GG gets called, and Wayne, he snowballs out of control, taking a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Shameless, everything just fell apart. Everything just fell apart with that first cancellation. If that base gets them running, suddenly we have shield batteries. Suddenly we have a more defensive position at the 4th base. Suddenly there's no need for Shameless to move out into the open like that. But last he got torn apart. He got torn apart then and there. GG. Wayne is now 1 game away from claiming the series. 1 game away. As we're getting into our next game, it's going to be on El Dorado. Interesting. Okay. El Dorado here is a unique map in the map pool. A bit of a shorter rush distance by ground. We could see... I was going to say we could see more defensive play. It's quite common to go into things like Mutas, for example, or Stormhost Nidus. Likewise, Tempest rushes. We'll see how our players expand and where both Shameless and Wayne take us here. Do we expand towards each other? Do we expand away from each other? Where are we headed? Oh, here we go. As we are getting into game number 4. I'm hoping for an ace match. I would love to see a game 5 between these two. Love to see a game 5. But the pressure is now on Shameless. We need to tighten up and bring it back. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of El Dorado, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy down in the series. Yes, fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Shameless. Here we go. So we're settling into potentially the final game. Wayne once again coming in with a proxy hatch. We saw this in the previous game on Abyssal, and we're seeing it here as well in El Dorado. As the drone does slip in, we're juicing up. We're getting juiced. The hatchery has been thrown down. From here, Shameless, he does pull the boys. Has to focus this down. Zelt's going to be on the way. And once again, we're going to have a bit of a more disruptive start. Interesting. This time, Wayne okay. Different build. Now, if you remember, last game, it was hatchery, into spawning pool, into late gas. This time, it's hatch, into gas, into pool, into late expansion. So, much more aggressive. What does this mean? This means early gas income. It means early link speed, potentially earlier tech, or another form of early tech as well. So much more aggressive by Wayne. Not an all-in. It's still like we're not looking to reinforce this or to kill probes early on, but it does mean that again, there's going to be a little more activity here by Lings early on from Wayne. He's going to have a little more early map control. This hatchery's going to be placed. Likewise, the proxy should be cancelled. Should not finish. Oh, as it's getting quite low. And there's a cancellation just in time. Drone gets pulled away. 6 Lings are in production. Link speed as well. And Wayne, he's not pulling out. Uh-oh. He's not pulling out of gas. Again, this is what we assume that something else will be coming with this. This could be a Bane Bust or it could be a Roach Rush. What are we going for? There it is. We have the answer. Bane Bust. Bane Bust out of Wayne. He's going all in. Now, Shameless, he has an idea what's happening. Remember, checking the vision here. Remember, Shameless, he did see the later expansion. He saw the earlier gas. He knows that something's wrong. He knows that something is coming his way. Doesn't know it's going to be a Bane Rush. For all he knows, it could be a Roach Rush. It could just be link speed into droning. True. For all he knows, Wayne pulled out of gas. We know better, but we see everything. Shameless walling up. Throws down the Stargate. As a part of the wall. This is going to lead into Oracle production. Banelings are morphing in. Now, because of that Stargate, that means there's no second gateway. That means we have very limited production. Very limited production here for Shameless. And this may just end here and now because he's not making another unit. Just two. Just Zealot and Adept. He's not making a second unit here. Wayne gets supply blocked. Here comes the Bane Bust. He's diving in. Knocks down the wall. Bust on in. Thankfully, there's a Stalker as well. Stalker doesn't get surrounded. No, he doesn't get in. Does not get into the wall. Boys are not able to save this. The Stalker goes down. The Zealot goes down. The Adept goes down. The Pylon's under fire. Boys are being pulled, but the Pylon's going to go down, depowering everything. The Artosis Pylon, and with that, Wayne has done it. Wayne, he will clean this up. He will overwhelm, and he'll make it to the finals. GG gets called with the Bane Bust, and Wayne will make it to the finals to face up against Skillets 2 months in a row. GG. GG, well played. Shameless, he saw the gas. He knew that it was going to be an aggressive follow-up. Despite that, he skipped another unit. He did not recheck. He did not rescout. No shield battery, no force field either, no sentry, no nothing. He was caught with his pants down, caught completely off guard. And with that, GG, well played. Wayne, he will advance on to those finals. Congratulations here to Wayne. My condolences to Shameless. Again, Shameless, we saw him do very well against Wayne in the group stage when it came to the mid game, when it came to the late game, if he could get there. As we saw though, Wayne, all in after all in after all in. Technically, it wasn't an all in on Abyssal Reef. On Abyssal Reef, it was very different. We saw strong timing instead out of Wayne as it was taking up into lurkers behind that. But Shameless, he was caught off guard on Abyssal. That was a rough game. That was Shameless's game to lose there in a sense, where Shameless had a high chance of kind of getting into his own style. Wasn't quite able to pull it off though. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our 2 finalists. We have our top 2 in Fire Cup number 6. Here for the month of January, it's going to be a ZvP between Wayne and Skillous. And this is kind of what we expected. This is what we expected here. Wayne and Skillous, they are the top 2 rated players of the event. For those that are curious, Skillous, he is a top 3 player, a top 3 Protoss player in Europe, who was better than Skillous in the region of Europa, Showtime, and Max Packs. And even then, I feel like the lines between Showtime and Skillous are being blurred as of late. Skillous, Nikita has been improving so much over the past couple of months in the offseason of EPT. It's been amazing to see his growth as a player. As a result, he's the favorite player to win it all. Wayne, likewise, he's a top 5 Zerg player in Europe who's above Wayne. Well, several Raynor, and typically Lambo and a Laser, right? Those are the top 4 Zerg players in Europe. Wayne is just behind them at that 5th spot, in that 5th place. So Wayne, he is in the upper echelons of the European region as well, and I want to believe that he is comparable to Skillous, but Skillous is still favored. Skillous, he's still favored here against Wayne. We'll see if Wayne can make him bleed and can bring him down. I mean, we've already seen Skillous, he has dropped maps to Milky Cow, and he's dropped maps to Strange. Milky Cow and Strange have taken maps off of Skillous already in this tournament. Maps is one thing, a series is another though, right? Like, can Wayne be the first to take more than just a map? Is he going to be the first to take 2 maps even off of Skillous in Fire Cup? We'll see. We'll see. As Wayne is going to be a good challenger. Good challenger here as we settle in. Again, Vita's underway, so we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the grand finals ready for you. Again, it's going to be another PBZ, but a very different kind of PBZ here, where Wayne is going to be the underdog coming up against Skillous. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.